Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I know that so many of you have like it's a long awaited video, and I really do apologize for if it seems like I'm wasting your time or anything. I really do apologize for that. If this is your first time here, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Ayobami Bakari. I post different content, but at the moment I feel like I'm just going to focus on just admission stuff, that's all. So I'm going to be giving different kinds of admission processing for different countries, so definitely make sure you stay tuned, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share with your friends, make sure you like, make sure you comment down below also. So in today's video I'm talking about the ISFA. If you don't know what the ISFA is, I already talked about it in my previous videos. I'm going to try and link them up, link them up then so you can watch it. But this video is also going to be in a playlist, so if you have no idea where to start from in this admission to the USA thing, basically just start from the beginning of my videos and binge watch it to the end, and make sure to give it a like and make sure to subscribe and comment. If you have questions or anything, definitely comment. I'm going to reply. Okay, now let's get right into it. The ISFA. Okay, so first and foremost, you can get the ISFA from anywhere. When I mean anywhere, I mean if you want to see the preamble, like what does it look like, how can I get it, how can I prepare the questions. It is from your school, any school that offers you any school that's like CSS profile. Make sure to ask them, are we doing CSS and ISFA? Because some schools will just ask you to do CSS and leave your ISFA as an international student, but some schools will ask you to do both, or some schools will ask you to do only ISFA. But all of this is still under your school. Do you understand me? So the ISFA is like, how many pages? 5 pages. Yeah. So the common app is not cumbersome yet. What I meant in my last video was the ISFA. I'm going to try and just show you guys a preamble. So this is what it looks like. The form is literally fillable, so you don't have to like use PDF editors and all of that. So the first thing is, like I said, if you want to get the ISFA from your school, please make sure to speak with your admissions counselor or your representative before you even go and download it from your school's website, in case they have. But in case they do not, I think that just basically tells you that they don't offer full funding and all of those things. So if you want to know some types of schools that like have full funding and all of that, I have a video also on that. So like I'm telling you, binge watch. So let me get into this video proper. This is for 2022 to 2023, guys. So this is for Grinnell College. But the thing is, the ISFA is literally always the same question. That's why I'm saying you can get it from anywhere if you want to know the preamble. The devil is a liar. If you want to know the preamble, do you understand me? How do you say preamble? Jesus. So it has your school's logo on it. So for those of you that like you're thinking of which schools to apply to and all of that, and you want to see what the ISFA looks like so that you can start preparing some questions or some documents, please definitely search out your school's website. If you don't know how to do that, I have a video on that also. Yeah, we have video on almost everything, but we're still getting there. So please definitely make sure to check out those videos so that you understand how I got to this particular video. So let me get right into it. I keep saying that. So firstly, the International Student Financial Aid Application, which is ISFA, is to gather information from international students who are applying for financial aid at colleges and universities in the United States. When completing the application, it is important to answer all questions that apply to you and your family. Convert all currency figures to US dollars before entering them on the form. So for this conversion of a thing, what I usually do is I use Google to like convert, like how much is 45,000 naira to dollars, how much is 100 million naira to dollars, and all of that. But I also know that like I found out like when I was at home last year that the rate that Google brings out naira to dollar is sometimes different from how much banks will actually convert for you, or how much all these aboki, these exchange rates bureau de change guys do it. So for that part, I would most likely say check Google, make sure to confirm with any kind of bureau de change agent beside you or close to you that is legit. Check with your bank, and then my advice is use the highest to do your conversion, because at any point in time the dollar might drop or it might increase. So basically you're still going to be in the middle. And I also feel like be transparent about these things when you're submitting it, because you're going to submit it back to your school when you're done. I think you're going to attach it to your email, or if not, attach it to your IDOC. So to do that, I would literally say attach a message to it, put a message in there, let them know that the exchange rates, state the exchange rates you use there, because I feel like some schools might actually check out the exchange rate, and since most of them might not know like the exchange rate and all that, they might use Google, and your exchange rate that you used in your form might be higher than Google. So what I would say is let them know that you use the exchange rate in Nigeria, but you are aware of the exchange rate for Google, but your own exchange rate falls in the middle. But I also think like you doing the average, like get it three, do the average of it and use it, or whichever one works best for you. But I'm the type of person that I like carrying my school along in the little things. So, and then always pray before you even apply to a particular school, because some admission counselors are so excellent. Like they're so helpful, they're ready to help you at any point in time, like excellent. So make sure to definitely confirm with them that, oh, these are the exchange rates that we have in Nigeria, or that is currently going on with the naira, or whichever currency it is that you're going to be converting to the dollar. And ask her or him like, which would you say I should use, or should I use my discretion, things like that. Like don't now be thinking that if I ask certain questions they won't accept me. I found that life is not that hard here. Some of the questions are self-explanatory. So basically section A, now I'm going into like different sections and all of that. I'm not going to drop the form, because this is for Grinnell College, and I feel like it would be like infringement on their I don't know, something copyright, but I don't think it should be an issue. But I'm not going to drop the form. But the link now is you have to know the school you want to apply to, so go and search out your school and do all of that by yourself. But if you're finding any issues doing that, just comment down, let me know, or send me a DM. I'll be happy to help you get it for your school. Section A now, which is your student information, the students applying for aid. You basically have your name, permanent address, email, your mailing address. I would say use your permanent address and your mailing address are the same thing. But if your mailing address is different, for those of you that have PO boxes or places that mails can come to, especially in Nigeria, definitely input your mailing address. Don't disregard it. That how is it going to come? Some schools actually send you your documents through that. Your date of birth, place of country of citizenship, expected visa type. So if you're coming to the US, I'm trying to explain the visa types here. I only know of three visa types that I can actually like, or let me say 4 visa types that I can explain to you that I know about. The first one is F1 visa, which is what everybody's doing. Like you're coming for undergraduates, you're coming for graduates. That's basically like you're coming in as a student first year in whichever college, whichever whether undergraduate or graduate. Then F2 is basically like your dependents, your spouse, your kids. So make sure to know that this particular section is just for you. So you are only applying for F1. But if you're a student that is transferring, when I mean transferring, maybe like you've done 100 level in that school and you're transferring to the US here with your school's result, don't just think because I've done 100 level in Nigeria and you're coming to the US, that automatically makes you a J1 student. No, except you transfer those documents from your university, that is when you are a J1 student. But most times your school will actually let you know which visa you're applying for, like your visa category. And I feel like J2 should be like the dependent of those people. When do you expect to begin your studies at this college or university? This is just asking you for the month or the year. It's not, I don't feel like it's something. Please, when you're filling this form, don't leave any space blank unless instructed. It will save you a lot of stress and time. Will you be attending a university or college for the first time, transferring from another college or university, or you are a returning student? Do you understand me? So select the one that applies to you. List below the names of the colleges and universities you're applying to. You have 6 columns there for you to put in the names of schools you're applying to. Now for this part, I feel like putting, when I went for the Young African Scholars Program, they were like, put in something that makes you seem competitive, that sells you. Like, when I mean sells you, like, you might be applying to Grinnell, you might be applying to Rhodes College, you might be applying to Brown University, you might be applying to Yale University, you might be applying to MIT. All of those schools are very competitive. So if you put in those schools for Grinnell, I feel like it will give you an advantage, because like they're like, if you have the ability to apply to these schools and they've already seen your result before they even ask you to fill the ISFA, the ISFA, it is more or less like the school is now going to be like, oh, she's applying to this big school, we want her here. Do you understand? Like, they want you to be in their school. So that's something that you need to pray about and use your discretion for, because you might not even be applying to any big school, you might be applying to just one school. Put it there. You might be applying to 2 schools. That doesn't impact your application in any way, so you don't necessarily need to fill up the whole space. Your marital status, not married, married or in a domestic partnership, if married, how many people are financially dependent on you. So this is another thing that I feel like so many people mistake when they say, I feel like most times when the US is talking about dependent, they're talking about people that are financially dependent on you. So I would say, like, if you have people that are financially dependent on you, please put them. But if you just have like maybe your niece or your nephew living with you for the holidays, I don't think that person is financially dependent on you, because he or she is like 90 to like 70 or 100% dependent on their parents. They're just there for that period. So section B now. So that's basically everything on section 1, instructions, and sorry, that's basically everything on page 1, instructions and section A. Section B now is parent information. What's your parents' current marital status? The 4 options again: married or in a domestic partnership, separated or divorced, widowed, never married. It's not all of these things. I feel like the parent aspect does impact your application, but do not lie about it, because some people that their parents are divorced kind of have more funding. Some have more funding, some have to pay their EFC, which is their expected family contribution, is more, because they feel like both of your parents are separated and independent, so both of them should be able to put something towards your education. So it literally varies. I feel like it's the favor of God. Your parents' name, relationship, their age, their address, their occupation or title, their employer, number of years with the employer. At this point, I feel like most Nigerian parents are even self-employed, so put that in. I also feel like if one of your parents is like unemployed at the moment, or even both of them, anything could happen. Please be honest, just put it there. Unemployed is not a cocoa something. You're actually applying for aid, so that might be the reason why you're applying for aid. Don't see that as a bad thing, that I need to do this and all of that. How many people, including yourself, depend on the income of your parents for daily living expenses? Now, this is including yourself. So, like, I'm using all of these scenarios because so many people get confused with it. You're a family of 6, 4 kids, 2 parents. And they say how many people, including yourself, are financially dependent or depend on the income of your parents for daily living expenses. If you have older siblings that are working and do not necessarily depend on them for daily living expenses, please, you don't have to put them actually, because at the end of the day, if you feel like, oh, it might deter your application, there's still a section for you to put their names basically. So I feel like don't worry about that. If you are like the last born and you're the only one that is still in your parents' house, maybe your siblings are very old, they're working, then put yourself. One, family member listing. Please provide information for all family members included in question 11 or 15. Question 15 is the how many people including yourself, while question 11 is if married, how many people are financially dependent on you. Do not give information about yourself in this section. So now, if you now want to go, the only people they want to know is like you, who are the people that are dependent on your parents, because all of those things are what they like factor into giving you a scholarship. So please, again, do not lie. Other people are looking for scholarships. Don't try to like give the PTKs when you are not in the PTK section. Don't downgrade yourself because you're looking for something. What is yours will come to you. Family member listing. Full name of family member, age, relationship with you, not name of school or college, year in school or college, tuition and fees, room and board, scholarship and gift aid, amount of parent contribution, which is that all of that is under educational information 2021 to 2022. So this is why I said you need to sit with your parents, you need to sit with your siblings, like get all of these things correct. This is where you start converting to like the dollars, your school, your brother or your sister's school fees. If they don't have it, like your parents can't afford it, don't go and lie. I keep saying don't go and lie, but it's the truth. Don't lie. Then educational information 2022 to 2023 just ask you for their name, the name of their school or college, the total cost, and the amount of your parents' contribution. I also feel like that is definitely factored into like the application processing. But that doesn't mean you should still lie about it, because like I said, if your school now asks you to bring these documents, I know in Nigeria you can forge stuff, but out of morality and decency, I feel like, and out of peace of mind, like you continually have to make sure you are saying the correct thing, not to lie, and even when you go to the embassy. So reduce stress on yourself. So that's all for page 2. Page 3 is section C, which is your financial information. Now this is the part where go and solve Opolo Ekale. Go and sit down with your parents. When I say Opolo Ekale, use your brain. Sit down with your parents, sit down with your guardian or whoever these questions that I'll be reading out pertain to. So the first question is, what documentation will you be providing to verify income and assets information requested on this form? Document. You have the option of tax forms, statement from employer, order specify, which is like maybe you want to submit a bank statement or a payroll slip, but I feel like that should fall under like statement from your employer and all of that. What is the official exchange rate